It is nighttime in the city, over on the West Coast, over on the East Coast, over on the not coast coasts. Alan, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. It is time for our weekly Brawl Brewer Hangout. That is well, that's leaf juice, all right. I've been living in Vancouver for like 3 years, which means that I got this tea set that I've been slowly working my way through 4 or 5 years ago at least. And I am still trying to get through because I've already gone through all the good stuff. I've already got through English breakfast, and I've already gone through Earl Grey and, the actual highly caffeinated stuff. And the only thing I have left is green tea and then bedtime herbal remedy. And it's like, no, that's the exact opposite reason I'm drinking this shit. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking caffeinated things before bed anyway. I made the mistake of having my husband pick me up some Monster energy drink a couple weeks back. My wife and I went to the Eighth Adrift pre-release. It was a lot of fun, by the way. A lot of people at the local shop were very, very nice. Great time. We're gonna be going to Legacy night in a couple of days. So hey, Legacy, it's good stuff. But at the initial pre-release, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be fucking dead. I feel dead. We were streaming the Friday before. Asked my husband to pick it up before I went streaming. My husband did not get home till like there was an hour left to stream. I was like, well, I'm not gonna be able to drink this now. I'll be up all night. So I put in my thermostat for the next day. I sipped on it throughout the pre-release, felt great. Got home, was like, there's a little bit left. We'll just go ahead and like drink this. And then I proceeded to stay up a couple of extra hours past my bedtime. And I was so eepy the next day. It was awful. So on the one hand, hey, you know what? Great to know that I am not desensitized to Monster energy drinks or like most energy drinks. And I can still drink them and get wired. On the other hand, I don't know that I actually enjoy being that wired, especially so close to bed. I think I actually do value the sleep, despite what my wife may think. Oy. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So today is a brewing day. That means that all stream we're going to be working on refining one deck specifically. Less a showcase per se, and more of a we've got a concept. Let's work on it some. Maybe get some feedback from the audience. And hey, you know what? If you do have some ideas for the deck, you can always go ahead and we'll have a nice little chat about that. Although my advice has always been, okay, if you want to add something, maybe help me get an idea of like what we should be taking out. I still have to take a card out of here. Chandra Spark Hunter. This is a cool card. You can discard a card from your hand or sacrifice an artifact to draw a card. You can also just like +2 just to help build loyalty. The 0 cost is make a 3/2 vehicle artifact token with crew 1. The emblem is a -7. That's important for me to remember. I did not catch that, and I actually could have won a game when I was doing some early testing if I remembered that the emblem was at 7. Whenever an artifact you control enters, this emblem deals 3 damage to any target. And then she's got the static effect of, at the beginning of combat of your turn, choose up to 1 target vehicle you control. Until end of turn, it becomes an artifact creature and gains haste. So she's effectively a pilot. It's pretty cool. And my initial thought for this is to kind of build Chandra as a mono red control list, maybe. So here's the interesting thing. I don't know that she's going to be as strong at mono red control as, say, Koth Fire Resistance, potentially even Chandra Awakened Inferno. There's something to be said about Chandra Beacon of Hope, and the fact that in addition to being removal, she can in fact copy Stone Rains and start Stone Rain the opponent out of existence, which, like, hey, you know what? No mana, no problem. But Chandra Spark Hunter presents us with an interesting synergy that I want to mess around with, in that we can include a lot of hate artifacts like Vexing Bauble and Winter Moon. Those might actually be the only 2 hate artifacts that I have, but we'll definitely want to find more ways to slot in more. But it's interesting because we can always cash those cards in for redraws if we're in a matchup where it's not actually going to work out. So, like, for example, if we go up against a mono black deck or a mono blue deck that's running mostly basics. And then hopefully, because most of our creatures are we don't have a lot of creatures. Like right now it's Ragavan, a couple of Mana Dorks, Magda. We have Goblin Engineer to help tutor for some stuff. Let's see, Facebark Fable. I just put in the Spike Spitter. I'm going to try that out after checking out another list. Oldspin Dragon Fury. Not a lot of actual creatures. We may be able to just ride the victory off of Chandra's Spike token or any of the vehicles that we have. Type vehicle, not Bimbo. So like Bankbuster, Copter, Hearse, Mech, Boommobile. Not a lot of vehicles, but like, you know, Chandra kind of just does it all. You can kind of just do it all herself. So if we can build like a really strong control core, she might end up working out. Another option is at some point I take a look at potentially just cloning my Colossus deck. See how Chandra does as the piece de resistance commander for that. And that's basically what we're spending today doing. Was playing the Zahur deck earlier today just to clear off some dailies. I also pulled up all the mono white decks that I'm looking at. If you caught my Brewers video that I posted, was that last week? Yeah, I want to say it was last week. Then you'll know that I want to try and Bristly Nurse, Trample, Boom Bike. Is this enough? Get up to 3 mana. There's no acceleration here. We have the Bolt to deal with Bill. How about we have anything to go beyond? I'll keep it because we do get the Bolt, but well, that's a Landwar Elf. And that's a cycling. I don't think this hand is fast enough. Tribute to the World Tree. Okay. When a creature enters, draw a card if it has power 3 or less. Otherwise, put a counter on it. We're going to go ahead and let this resolve because what we need is to deal with Bill. We are going to go ahead and cycle this away to try and like dig a little deeper for some acceleration. Love that for us. Oh, this is not going to go great. The Boommobile does help. Kind of. I don't know. I feel like we've just taken a really slow start. Tried to justify it off of one removal spell. So definitely not my finest hour. Oracle of Moldiah. Okay, well, that does get big. Now 4/4. That is quite literally nigh impossible for us to deal with. They might be holding you back specifically because they know they're going to be playing Bolt. They might go... What? Bristly Bill... Crack a fetch land. This is going to be rough. Scythe Cat Cub is also really, really bad for us. We just kept a really bad hand. That is entirely on me. And... do they have the Tamios? It's Archdruid's Charm. Search your library for a creature or land. Put on the battlefield tapped. So that'll let Bristly Bill put a counter on Oracle and let them swing for 5, approximately a fifth of our life total. Alright. Yep. That was just a really bad keep on my part. The opponent slow rolled that really well to punish me. And I knew that was that could happen too. Would have been a little bit better if we mulligan to say an Arcane Signet. Because the Mox Amber just was not going to be doing anything real. Athreal Shroud Veiled. So this is the one that can steal our creatures. Yeah, it's whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or is put into exile, they get it. Okay. Vexing Bauble could be good. Statutory with Vexing Bauble. Like that. So we'll go Bauble, pass. We eat the Thoughtseize. That probably just takes away the Statutory. Okay. Signet. Pass. We can go into Chandra next turn. They would have to have a Bitter Triumph. Get Lost. Most anything that they would want to do, they would have to do for 2 mana. So, Cottontail Caretaker. When it enters, choose a white creature in your hand. That card perpetually gets Offspring. Let's see. I'm tempted to play with Fire here, but I want to hold the Frostbite specifically for if there's a 3-drop. I guess they could have chosen could have waited until after they chose a card. Give my opponent additional information for no reason. Alright. So we pay 3 mana for statuary. That means we only have 3 mana. Go ahead and cast Chandra. Go ahead, make the bike. Bike can now help us cast stuff. Alright, Nyum. And then next turn we can cast the One Ring. Not in fact spells you cast have impacts. Well, that'll help us recast Chandra. Farmhand grabs them an extra land, make sure they get a land drop. Not bad. Okay, so this is like a black-white deck that's probably wanting to be a Ketramos deck, if we're being honest. Ironclad. Menace, Cruelty, and Cycle. Let's see. We've already got the bite. Think about this for a second. I would love to hit another land, right? Right. So let's go combat. Make the bike go boom. And then I can plus Chandra. The Vexing Bauble is actually really important here because they very likely have Solitude. Just how important is it to hold the Ironclad, though? Let's see. Let's go ahead and... Go ahead, we'll cast the One Ring. We don't have to sacrifice anything with Chandra. We don't have to discard anything either. 6-3 with Mets. You know what? Let's just go ahead and cash that in. Got a land drop return. That's pretty good. Alright, so we have the One Ring out. I'm not going to worry about Chandra getting booped for like... Oh my god, she actually says, hey, I'm driving here. I kind of love that, but like, damn, that's it. Okay. Alright, so Spirited Companion, we're definitely going to want to shoot that immediately. The Farmhand, like a problem eventually. Ooh, Chandra and... Let's do a quick redraw. Cinder Cone Smite. Here's Inspiring Statuary. Then we were the starting player, right? Okay, so Cinder Cone Smite isn't going to do what we normally like to do. Animate the bike. Give him a chance. And then... while they're tapped out, go with the sorcery version. So that way we can potentially hold up Frostbite later on. Go ahead. +2. Sacrifice an artifact? I don't think we need to. Could sacrifice the bike. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and sack the bike, get a redraw, replay our land, pass turn. Could frostbite it. Could frostbite the farmhand now, play around any sort of ephemerate effect. I really want to see what it is they... I could also like Karn's Bastion, proliferate, then -7. That might be playing it a little too greedy. Oh, they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it. Oh, they're just gonna come at me? Okay. That could potentially mean a board wipe. Could also mean that they just have removal for Chandra and they're gonna use it before I can pop her ult. Because if I pop her ult here, that is gonna make it significantly harder for them to win. Especially since she does have it. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be Skyclave Apparition with Osprey, funnily enough. Okay, so exile the one ring. Yep. And now you can exile Chandra. Nothing I can do about that. And then don't forget to take her out of the command zone. Oh, they're gonna reanimate. Okay, well Chandra could just go ahead and wipe the whole board. So why not? Do 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 do. Go ahead and tap both of those. I guess I could have played the hearse. All right, get ourselves a 4/4 and pass. The Skyclave Apparition getting Osprey is actually really good on the Cottontail Caretaker. But as long... and they could just hard cast Solitude now. Circuit Men. Gives him extra 3 life. You know what? Normally I'd be inclined to just outright shoot that. I don't think we need to go. Then... yeah. Go ahead, replay Chandra. Beep, beep goes the trolley. Beep, beep, beep goes the bell. Like, we're zooming along pretty well. I think we just have, like, full control. See what removal they have. Circuit Mender can go away. Okay, that kind of works. You pay you paid the Offspring cost, so that gets around the Vexing Bauble. Hmm. So then, let's see. The Solitude was evoked, right? Right. Just double checking here. Yeah, so they do get to keep the 1/1. We don't care about the 1/1. Let's go ahead and hit the Circuit Mender while it's gone. Like like they already have 1. So that Solitude's lifelink is actually being negated. Also, like, hey, the Vexing Bauble. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's 20 at Inferno. That's whatever. They have to have just actual removal. Paragon. They can't play. No, they can play Skyclave Apparition. That's obnoxious. Their attack and mech deals twice damage. Damage equal to twice the number of vehicles you control. So if I have 2 vehicles, it deals 4 damage. I think and -4, get rid of the Circuit Commander so they don't redraw. Oh, but when this leaves the put into the graveyard from the battlefield, exile, and you gain 2. Well, I'm always making this vehicle. And then Surge Hacker Mech. 4 damage. Paragon's dead. I could -3 Chandra. Then she just gets like kicked away. This is delicate. This is an elemental too, so that doesn't quite work. Let's just go ahead and go plus. Let's go combat 3/2, 5/5, 5/5. And then what? Cycle of Forgotten Cave? Probably Cycle of Forgotten Cave. Okay, so here's the problem. Shroud Veil comes down. It's the beginning of your end step. Put a coin counter on another target creature. They put the coin counter on the Circuit Mender. Then the Circuit Mender comes back. Starts stabilizing them real good. But if we just keep ticking up Chandra, Awakened Inferno, we're feeling pretty good about it. Right? Right? Yep. 3 damage to Chandra. It's going to make the removal a lot harder. Athreus comes down. Yep. This is a token, right? Yeah, this is a token. Go the... You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead. Cycle. See if we get lucky. No dice. So now Athreos can put the counter on the Circuit Mender. But it doesn't actually matter if nothing happens to the Circuit Mender, right? Right. You know what? We can go ahead and crack this bauble now, too. Alright, lovely. You love to see it. 3 damage to target creature an opponent controls, and then whenever Chandra comes to... We're just going to start looting through our lands. Spiteful Banditry. The Irony. The Mass Irony. Someone getting sweaty? Couldn't be me. Okay. So, hold on. They gain 3. They get to draw a card. They scoop. We get the win. I play Spiteful Banditry on 3. The Mender dies. 2 triggers go in the stack. Creature with a coin counter dies or is put in exile. Return that creature to the battlefield under your control. So they can stack the... So it's going to stack the trigger so that way the Mender comes back. I don't know that it's worth it for that. Like, definitely play the Oath of Chandra to get rid of the Solitude. Play Ye Old Hearse. Just to, like, get more artifacts or whatever. I mean, I guess the Spiteful Banditry can be improvised, so there's that. Swinging in with the mech anyway. Chandra's 3 damage from the emblems are now completely negating whatever life they would get from the Mender. Yeah, okay. I think we completely dominated that match. Ooh, achievement unlock. We got What is this? Win a game without casting a creature spell? Party of none? Lands, am I right? Emote equipped. Okay, hey, you know what? I'll take that. I don't think I have any of the titles, right? It's not gonna... Yeah. Yeah, they're all locked. We're fine. We're cool. That went really well. Having the Vexing Bobble to deal with the Solitude helped a lot. The opponent not seeing any, like, Elish Norn type effects to double their triggers. Interesting. Calling a Zenith Seeker. Okay. Well, I do know about that. Frostbite, Abrade, Pyroclasm, Ruby Medallion. I think in this instance specifically, this works out. Now, Chandra being a 3/3 flyer is a little bit of a problem because when we kill her, she does just get replayed and refill their hand. Solar Transformer, well, that's going to get abraded immediately. All right, slow the roll. So now we have... Might end up just taking 3 from Chandra on the backswing here. They could also be including a lot of flicker effects. Black market connections, that's really dangerous for them. Not that I mind. Alright, so the Pyroclasm is cheap. Also means that they probably get punished super hard if they make the... They do. They paid the 6. That black market, if we can keep them off any sort of life gain angels or Whip of Erebos or anything like that, that's going to be really punishing. Alright, so there's Chandra. They get Archangel Balrog, who has haste. Can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. Cost 1 less for each permanent sacrifice this turn. They'll have 2 treasures, so they can go ahead and play him no problem. He's a 7/5, which means Chandra is not sticking around. And then Bonehorde Dracosaur, who just gives him gas for days. Ooh, you hate to see that. But they discard the Balrog. So they might have a reanimate effect. That's going to be 7 life. That's going to dome him like stupid hard. Okay, that's going to be the case. Let's see. Go with Horde Hollow now. If they pulled up Avacyn, which they could be, they do have the treasure to do that. Avacyn keeps them from dying to any sort of board wipe. Whenever a non-angel dies. Pyroclasm does not deal enough. I would have loved to send them to play Dracosaur, because then I can go Frostbite, Pyroclasm, Chandra. I don't have a lot of agency here. At this point, they're probably just going to stick to draw a card, make a treasure. No, they're just going to stick to making a treasure. We're going to see exactly how far this goes. I'm hoping they tap out for Dracosaur. Nope, they're just going to go for the Unburial Rites. Okay, it's go time. Which means... It's a 7/5. When it dies, destroy target artifact or creature an opponent controls. I just lose my Ruby Medallion. It's 10, 13 damage. Alright. Let's go ahead. We'll kill Kalia. Balrog can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. Take the 10 off that. Yep. Getting the Balrog is pretty good. Go ahead. Play Chandra. We're going to use the Horde Hauler. We're going to use the Horde Hauler to try and deal the damage here. No, let's just get lost. We're probably cooked. We're gonna go ahead and sacrifice an artifact. I'll play the Pyroclasm just to save myself a bolt's worth of life. But I actually cannot deal 5 damage to this thing, so I do need to actually think about putting in some bigger removal spells in here. The good news is Balrog is still going to be 2 more turns. Goldspan Drag. Now that's kind of cool. Currently have 4, 5, 6 mana to work with. I can Goldspan Dragon, try to attack. And then that gives me what? 4 more mana? 4 more mana is not enough to replay Chandra, but it is enough to play this Chandra. I can play this Chandra, and if they attack this Chandra, that is life gain for me. This Horde Hauler has crew 3. Oh, hey! Fetch land. Fetch land triggering the start your engines. This is just pay 3, tap, discard a card to draw a card. Oh, right, Avacyn. Okay, yeah, you know what? That's GG's. We got... sometimes you just die to a Balrog. Sometimes you just, get destroyed by a creature that's bigger than you can actually handle. Balrog as tech. How much do I like that? Not bad tech. Seems surprisingly decent, actually. I don't like Balrog, just like in general, because I don't think it's cool enough, but like as tech, that's not bad. Jury, Master of the Review. Whenever you sack a permanent, it gets a counter. Whenever it dies, deals damage equal to its power. That is a scary, scary flame type card. We have Fury, but nothing to pitch to it. Sweltering Sun, Synchrone Smite, Forge, Spiker. This hand is pretty light. We're on the play, so we don't get the treasure off the Smite. But Sweltering Suns, potentially scraps. Forge is a pretty good win condition. I want to believe we can hold on to this. And there's the third land we need. Now, they're going to play against mono red. They know not to play Jury out naked because then we just bolt her. She pings us for 1, and then they don't actually get to accomplish anything. So next turn, we can go ahead, play the Urbrass Forge, and start smashing in. If they use an Abrade to break that up, that's fine, I guess. Undead Sprinter. You can cast this card from your graveyard if a non-zombie died this turn, and this creature enters with a 1/1 counter on. Okay. Well. Let's think here. Undead Sprinter. Very good. Urbrass Forge isn't here primarily because I think it's a really good win condition for mono red control. The Scaling Horrors are not artifacts, but they do work out very nicely in a world where the vehicles are bread and butter. Alright, so we do get to take 1 damage. Get a token, swing for 2. 20 all. I wonder if we can, like, get cheeky with Ragavan. We're not hitting our land, so that is bad. Like, that is bad. Blood-Eyed Harvester, that can enable their zombie. First strike and menace, you say? Okay, so I just have no way of getting my little friends out there. I can also like Monkey, but Monkey gets blocked there too. So let's go combat. They block with Kari Zev. They don't block with Kari Zev. And then this is just if a creature, right? If a non-zombie creature died this turn, so if we play any creatures, then they can replay it. Now, next turn, we can reckon with the Bank Buster. Karizev can't block the Forge. The Monkey comes to play tapped attacking and then gets exiled, so they need a sacrifice outlet. They want to get their zombie back. But then that's going to be post-combat, and then we're not as worried about the zombie. This is what, crew 3? This is already making... Yeah, okay, so we're just taking the 3 here. Alright. Spikefield Hazard. I could use this, get rid of Jury. And then we're probably winning the race. But I also really, really, really need... I just can't let him have Jury. Jury is worth so much damage. It's gonna be like 4 either way. Let's see what they do post-combat. I can still draw cards off of the Bank Buster. Yeah, let's go ahead and main phase this. Let's see, it's holding up priority because of the blood token. That doesn't necessarily mean they have a victimize. Oh, right. All right. You know what? Fair enough. I fucked that up. I forgot that they actually do get it off of their... okay. I have to think about whether I want to play the Ragavan or not. Okay, so I can play the Ragavan. They can kill the Ragavan and get their zombie back. Jury is still the biggest issue here. But this Forge is gonna keep pace with them really nicely. They're gonna swing it at, for me, minimum 5... never mind. Forget everything I said. We have to discard a card now. Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna need to just, like, have blockers. And this is why we can't let Jury out, because Jury just scales up so goddamn quickly. Now we're at 7. As soon as Jury dies, we take 4. Not good, not good, not good. Let's see. Playing Chandra doesn't help. Although we do get to push, what? 9 points of damage? If we had, like... just... one more. Like, go ahead. +2. Discard a card. Discard... the Artificer. Go combat. Threaten 9, I guess. Play Ragavan, and then perish? I mean, hey, we got him down to 2 life. Top deck Bolt would have gotten us there. That misplay to try and hit the jury. When I forgot that they could actually pump her up with the blood token. That was how the kids say brutal. Yeah, okay, yeah. Goblin Bombardment wins it for him. Because now they can go ahead, sacrifice their board, swing in, sacrifice jury, deal us the rest of the lethal damage. GG's. Okay, so what I'm seeing so far, I'm going to play one more game so I can suss some things out, but we definitely need some more flexible, good single target removal. There's plenty to be had. I just need to figure out what we're cutting to get there. Like, we can theoretically just go completely creatureless. I think Chandra is very good for that. Comes at the price at what are probably some really cool creatures, but say la vie. Sten, Paranoid Partisan. What are you? You just blue-white trying dodge out of Hellq. Control. Choose a card type other than creature or land. Spells you control cast the chosen type have one less cast. Pay 3 exile. Okay, yeah. That's the case. Hazard's not bad. Brass Tunnel can help. My stone, weak stone. If we draw into like another red source, this works out fine because then we can pitch the Fury. Statuary helps us ramp out Chandra. Then we've got Might Stone, Weak Stone as like additional removal. Let's go tapped mana source first. This does kind of mean that they're playing Stand Out Naked, which unfortunately is really bad for us. I would love to be able to get this Brass Tunnel down. I'm trying to think. It's 3 mana. That would be a good reason to hold on to the Spike Field Cav as a pitch card. But we didn't have the Mechanier at the time, so we just need to make sure we could actually get up to our mana. The cost of this is real that we have to hit the Brass Tunnels grinder, but it is what it is. Alright, so there's Replicating Ring. Here's Warm Power Stone. And now we get to play the awkward... Who's going to get to resolve their stuff first? Chandra versus a control matchup. I don't know how strong that's going to end up being. Chandra can go ahead, plus and dig. Statutory helps. Playing Chandra into this. They're just going to pass. That's counter control. Inferno gives us something real good to start plussing into. Can't be countered. They have to have literally memory remorse. Remand. Does subtlety hit planeswalkers? It might. Okay, so they're going to commit. Alright, well, we do have Chandra come up in a couple turns. They could Aftermath to get rid of Chandra. But then we would get to untap with a full grip of cards. That also opened us up to play Chandra Spark Hunter. Are they willing to do that? Also got Might Stone, Meek Stone. I think depending on what they do. No, there's Teferi. Okay. This is a significant problem. Okay, how do we want this? I want to play Chandra. We got 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Let's go ahead. We'll play Chandra. Chandra probably gets countered. Chandra does not get countered. Alright, it's bike time. Go combat. Swing this at Teferi. Teferi is probably just going to tick up. Teferi's not going to take any damage. Like, Teferi can, yeah, just draw, then discard. Start digging for an answer to Chandra, Awakened Inferno. And then we could Inspiring Statuary. Statuary would help pay for some stuff. I think I like playing Fable, the Mirror Breaker. Just help diversify those threats. Now, if something happens to Chandra, the goblin can pilot the bike or even attack to make some more treasure. We're going to have some consistent pressure on Teferi. We could also theoretically just loot away the statuary to get an extra redraw. I don't mind that. Statuary helps us recast Chandra, that's true. Mightstone, Meekstone. I would like to hold on to this as removal since we are currently removal light sans Chandra. Let's see, by invitation only goes away. Yep, that's a dead card against us. That's what we're looking to see too. Heisting would not shuffle our deck. They almost have to use memory if they don't want to just outright lose to Awaken Inferno. No, okay. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, draws 7 cards. If you cast in your main phase, put a permanent 7 mana. Okay, yep. So they're effectively going to do that. And like, hey, you know what? We just got the Fury out of that, so great for us. And Chandra can help us cycle through all these other cards. Perfect. Oh, right. And then Fable the Mirror Breaker also helps us. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just drop a couple of mountains, I think. Oh, that is so good. You'll love to see that. Okay, so then do we just hardcast Fury? I think we do. I think we just hardcast Fury. They have to have what? Subtlety? Put all 4 over there. They get 1 activation off Teferi. Yep, they're going to draw and discard. Then it's what? Horde Hauler, Ruby Medallion is here. We also have Koth to play around with. Let's go ahead. +2. I want to take a redraw off this Field of Ruin. Cards Bash is not bad. Just go combat, I guess. Make the treasure, play Koth. Rumored Medallion reduces by 2. That's not enough. Go ahead, play Koth. Hey, look who's playing Super Friends now. This grabs any mountain, right? So we can go ahead and grab... Okay, this is just a basic... A Psych Rift would be pretty strong. Sunfall, exile all the creatures, and they get to incubate. Real, I guess. Horde Hauler's pretty good. Alright, let's go ahead. Karn's Bastion. They could stifle the Chandra trigger. They could also counter Chandra. Alright, so grab a mountain. I'm gonna go ahead and go to 8. I'm not gonna worry about doing the alt. Okay, perfect, perfect. You love to see that. Here's Ruby Medallion. And we don't want to play the Surge Hack Mech. Hold on. 5, 6, 7. So go put us down to 4. Kinda, yeah. Alright. can also use the Mech Hainer. As in, like, go to combat, use Mech Hainer, animate whatever vehicle Chandra doesn't animate. Still on Sten. They're not playing Proft and they're not playing Teferi. This token could also be a... I think I want to cycle away the Forgotten King, right? Okay, so they do cast the Wash Away. Okay. Anything else we want to do? No. Sweet. Go combat. Here's the bike. And then... Okay, so next turn we can ult Koth, we can ult Chandra. That's okay, that's an Arcane Signet. That's not a Rift, but it leads really nicely into Rift. Alright, so this one has Chandra. Block here. I'm fine with it. I don't care about my creature. I get 2 Planeswalker ultimates on my next turn. Sweet. GG. Yeah, okay. So, in terms of the cards that aren't working out... Oh gosh. I feel like you almost have to just let Chandra resolve, because I think gambling on the red player getting a full fresh hand on 7, as opposed to a singular Planeswalker that you can keep trying to dig your way out of. I don't know, that's a tough spot to be in. I guess if I draw, like, absolute bricks, it works out. Ooh, Fearless Swashbuckler. Vehicles you control have haste. Whenever you attack with a pirate and a vehicle attack this combat, draw 3, discard 2. Ooh. Alright, that's pretty good. That gives us more ammo for the Blahaj deck. So, what do we think? Well, first... Wait, hold on. When did we get a Hazoret? Okay. Indestructible haste. Start your engines. Pay 1 tap. Target creature power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Can't attack or block unless you have max speed. I might fit this into the Squee deck. This looks pretty cool. Okay, so first things first. Any specific cards that I think are struggling here? Don't think so. Might and Weakstone is still perfectly fine. It's either a draw or a removal. Helps us play bigger artifacts. We don't really have a way to like flicker or reuse our artifacts. So maybe something like Galleon is a little too much. Let's see. Cycling, it's fine. One of the things that we might be taking a look at is just cutting out more of our creatures. Koth was being pretty good there, so happy about that. How do we feel about Inspiring Statuary? I think the biggest upside is that it helps us recast Chandra, especially we end up getting a lot of treasures. That way we don't pop those treasures and the treasures just become regular mana rocks. Inspector makes the artifacts cost less, but is a creature. Forge, I think, works fine. Facebreaker. That's Brass's Tunnel Grinder. I think that this is good tech. I think this is really good tech for Chandra specifically. And I'm going to stick on that. We didn't get a chance to really see it do its thing that match because we had to pitch it to Fury. But I think if we had resolved this with how often we were blessing Chandra, given the old +2, given the old NL special, this could have helped us out a ton because it lets us start double spelling. It helps push past a lot of the value that the blue deck is trying to get off. Let's see. Oath of Chandra, kind of the same reason. It's a 3 damage to target creature, and then it's just 2 damage every time we have to play our Planeswalker. In fact, we could just turn this into, like, Auto Red Super Friends, potentially. Get a couple of cards in there. That wouldn't be the worst. Let's see. Ruby Medallion, Bankbuster, Ornithopter Paradise. I understand why you're here. I think you are a liability as a creature. Kind of same with the Automated Artificer. Reckless Handling is a new one there. Magda. I want to believe in Magda. I want to believe that a deck that wants to play a lot of vehicles and is also playing red would love to have a dwarf that makes treasures whenever you crew a vehicle or set up a vehicle. But if we're just trying to like go full on control, didn't get a chance to see the extruder yet, but I know the extruders. The Goblet Engineer, I think as a tutor, this card is worth holding to. Ragvan as a dash target, also worth holding on to. Yeah, we're gonna want a lot more like pinpoint removal here, I think. Because if we look at just our Wrath potential, Goldspan Dragon. We go kind of lean. If we go kind of low to the ground, we don't really need like the extra mana that the Goldspan Dragon is presenting. Like if our top end is just primarily Wrath effects, probably works out a little bit better. Like there's Slag Storm, there's Anger of the Gods, Brotherhood Ends, Sun. All cards I've ended up picking up just because Colossus was a real fun deck to build for. Like almost nothing but red Ras. And Chandra is just kind of like Colossus, except she's going to be more proactive with actually being able to win. And she can actually dig out. Let's see. 5 Galadriel for when we are Hellbent. Missing Mortis is single target removal, but also doubles as Wrath. We're not going to be pulling out any of our Wrath type effects. I do want to make sure that they are differentiated from the single target removal that I'm going to start picking out here. Okay. Probably do a little better, get like a Strangle in there. Let's see. Notably, we can also just like the Chrome Mox. The downside of drawing it late is really bad because it's late game. You're starved for cards in hand. Chandra giving us the redraw just mitigates that downside very, very nicely. It's 2 damage to the target, but like it's there not necessarily because it's shock, but because it's good value later. Forge, Hearse, Blood Moon. This could be a scenario where we don't even necessarily need to worry about how many vehicles we have and just make sure we have quality vehicles. The Boommobile. This is an exhaust, but it's a crew 2 that turns into a 5/5. And also it is removal, but the exhaust makes it a 6/6. Yeah, okay. Alright, so say we cut all this. That's 8 more slots. 8 more slots for just really strong and efficient removal. So go instant sorcery. Give me the 1-drops. Give me damage target creature. And then tell me how ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Tell me how ain't nothing but a mistake. Now number 5. Oh, there's Shove Aside. That's why I'm right. Why am I grabbed Strangle before I grabbed Shove Aside, even though Shove Aside is literally strictly better Strangle. Whoops. Yeah, that'll happen. Wild Slash isn't bad. Effectively a shock that can't be countered. Running Volley can be good if you're in a specific Running Volley can be good depending on your meta. Light Up the Night. Now this is interesting because we actually do have a main Planeswalker, so we can potentially flash this back. And then deals X damage +1, so it's literally just whatever the mana value is, deal that much damage. As long as we're not aiming it at their face, but it can aim it at their face. Actually, hold on. Reset the filters real quick. I feel like I heard someone talking about a Mishra here. Let's see. Excavation Prodigy. Whenever you discard one or more artifacts, gain double red. It's not bad. What was I doing just now? Right. Okay. Could also get like some of those impulse cards. Let me check the count on luck. Beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. This is additional draw. Like kind of just straight up draw too. Vishandra's already like digging us in. I think we have to worry about that. This creature enters, it becomes an artifact creature, crew 2. Hold on. This is destroy target artifact with cycling. That's not bad. Remember, one of the upsides here is that we do. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen yet. Oh, Monument to Endurance is so good for this. Okay. Don't get to play any of the fun black version of that card. Market Backwalkers, cool. Playing any of the walkers, it might be. Gotta make Karn. We've got Living Legacy, who makes the Power Stone tokens. Makes Power Stones. We can sack on the Chandra. We can use them to help play our artifacts. Gets an emblem that turns all of our artifacts into painting that can actually win the game. Great creator, really nice. Target non-creature artifact. Its power and toughness are each equal to its mana value, so it does not work with our tokens, but does let us turn more artifacts into more damage. Karn, Sign of Urza. Definitely Sign of Urza. And we can just go ahead and run those. Great creator's not bad. Living Legacy, similarly not bad. Like the ultimate does actually just win game. And those Power Stones help play a lot of the artifacts. But I do want like removal. And we're not gonna get that if we just add in like more Karn. Cut out the Scion. Cut out the Living Legacy. Yeah, I know adding in more Planeswalkers helps out with the Oath of Chandra, but you know what else helps out with the Oath of Chandra? Adding in more Chandras. Post Beacon, I don't think we need to play that. That's more of a spell slinger type Chandra. Rest to kill. Fire Artisan, not quite. Flame Shaper from Foundations. +2 is add 3 mana, exile the top 3 cards of your library, choose one, play that card this turn. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. And then -4 is deal 8 damage to device you choose among a number of creatures and or planeswalkers. That's a 7 mana planeswalker. About that. I think we're not playing Pyromaster either. I don't think we have any Jaya worth playing. No, we just have War Jaya. We don't have good Jaya or other good Jaya. And like, you know, surely there's never actually been any other red planeswalkers besides Jaya and Chandra. That's not a thing that people would do, right? Aggressively ignores Luca and Sarkon. Well, no, I'm not going to aggressively ignore Sarkon. Sarkon just kind of is. Oh. Yeah, Tibble's kind of. Then, yeah, there is an Ugin. There's the Aether Spark. Don't have that Aether Spark yet. I will at some point. Okay. So then let's go ahead and Look at our 2 mana options. Mephit's Enthusiasm isn't bad, but we don't really have creatures that benefit from it. So we don't really need to use Fire Prophecy. I think we have enough filtering and looting around there. What else are we looking at? You can look at Feigned Flames is pretty good. Having the Exile helps out. We can also theoretically look at some more of the artifact lock pieces, like Grafdigger's Cage, potentially Agatha's Cauldron. Makes the bike a little bit bigger. Be nice if you could find like Obliterating Bolt's pretty good. Shadow Skull Smashing, technically. I've never really liked it. 5 damage to target creature for 2 mana, with the cost being that it only costs double red. We can do this at 3. Let's look at some. 3 is going to be the all important number here. Bone Crusher Giant's pretty good. It does turn into a creature that burns back. Damage can't be prevented. The Brittle Blast is probably one of the better ones, especially for those Reanimator decks. Especially the Aristocrats decks. Fiery Annihilation is also because it burns the equipment. And then we just need, what, 2 more pieces? More pieces. Warcrafting is fine. Rebel Salvo is an instant. And fantastic. Running Flame is situational, kind of. Like, it's good. It's solid. It's still 5 damage. 5 damage target creature planeswalker. The permanent loses destructible until turn. Swarm? Yeah. Go with Soul Seer. And then that's like a lot of drop single target stuff. That is exactly 3 drop target stuff. I want 1 more on the 1 mana side. Got 1 more slot. That's perfect. So what? We want it to be shock adjacent because our bolts are already pretty minimal. You could Lightning Axe. You're willing to pitch the extra card for that. Assault, Raining Volley, Shanty. Not Bombardment. What am I thinking? Probably like just a Flame Blessed Bolt. Flame Blessed Bolt actually ends up doing a lot of work. We're not going to be looking at anything that really hits players. That's what Chandra is for. Okay. So we are essentially creatures. Watley, Poet of Unity. Well, if there's ever going to be a creature deck to try out this Burn Suite with, Monument to Endurance is really cool here. Watley is a 2/3, so just for a basic. We're on the play, though. And with Monument to Endurance into Fable, that's going to be really hard to beat. We'll want to get the Monument down before the Fable, then. We'll probably even get them both down if we go into Worn Poundstone. Smuggler Copter. Play the Ruby first. We can even play Chandra next turn, but ooh. Here's a Chromox. Exile. Play Watley. Okay, then. They're off to the races. That's going to be 4 mana. They can't flip Watley just yet. I have to think about what I'm going to do here. I would love to get Chandra down. Watley can swing at Chandra. I need to get out ahead, though. That Chromox actually came at a really good time for them. Next turn, Watley transforms. They're going to make 2 dinosaur tokens. Slag Storm is perfect, actually. So 3 damage to each creature. Now I've got 4 mana to do whatever I want, pretty much. Mm. Okay. I'm gonna get a little greedy, get my Monument to Endurance out. Because this is gonna start making treasures. It's gonna start draining the opponent. Sarah Paragon. Goblin Engineer. Okay. Well, Smuggler's Copter, Chandra. Now that really plays really nice. So here's Smuggler's Copter. I could Chandra discard a card. But let's go ahead and just grab what helps out here. If it's 3 or less, we can reanimate. Forge helps out. Files, cool. Extruder makes 3 3s, but otherwise doesn't help out. Unless it hurts Winter Moon? It might be Winter Moon. Just to, like, slow them down. Also like Chandra Spark Hunter. Does the Fable actually help out here? I don't think it does anymore. I think go ahead, plus drop the Fable. And then turn that into draw card. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Can't do anything with that just yet. Oh, hey! Nice. Now, when the Morgana Raceway ticks up, it adds double mana. And also, they went and grabbed a non-basic when I put Winter Moon back deck. That's cool of them. That's cool. That's lovely. We love to see that. Sarah Paragon can probably hit Chandra here. Oh, nope, never mind. They weren't worried about it because they had the Faithful Absence. C'est la vie, I guess. Readers, yep. Mm-hmm. Alright, so we do need to overload Museum Mortars here. And I'm A-okay with that. Let's go ahead and... Sweet. I could sacrifice the clue. Draw a card if you do discard a card. Let's go ahead and... Let's just sacrifice the clue. Okay, Soul Seer. Great, great. You'll love to see it. Alright, Looter Scooter to the rescue. Take a draw. Fiery Annihilation's great. Soul Spear. Ah, these are all good. Guess that means we discard the... And then, you know what? Take the extra redraw off that. Play the mountain, because we need the mana. Pass the turn. We're in full control mode now. The Guardian Project is going to make it really, really hard, though. Lurking Predators. Whenever we cast a spell, they get to check the top card of their deck. If it's a creature, great. But if not... See, at this point, what I'm probably going to do... Oh, they got rid of Get Lost. That hits Planeswalkers, doesn't it? It does. Okay. You know what? I'm not really inclined to do anything else, I think. Right. I can just cash in the Anger of the Gods. Yeah. Go ahead. We'll loot. Go out the mountain. Get a redraw. All right, now the Raceway taps for full value, and let's see, what is this? Great treasure, each opponent loses 3 life. That's fine. We can actually cycle away the Sweltering Suns and get like extra mana off of it. Yep, they're gonna get the draw for this. That's fine. At some point, what I'll probably end up having to do is I will start using the monument to start cycling away their life just to get more pressure on. Breath of the Wild is a huge problem. Let's go ahead and we'll take the redraw, start drawing some extra cards. Sokazen helps out. Ooh, actually, hold on. This is discard cards, make dudes. We can make them lose 3 life. And then, you know what? Let's go ahead and see. While they're tapped out, we do get potentially give them a free creature. Oh, wait, they do not. This is this is so great. All right, just go straight to combat. Draw. Drop the Cinder Cone Smite. Harass Forge. Okay. And then now we go ahead, discard a card. Discard this mountain. Can we discard on the opponent's turn? I don't think we have a way to do that. This is just create a treasure. I would love to play Brass's Tunnel, discard any cards. Just pass the turn. There's no reason to give them extra free creatures. And at this point, any creature they play has to be able to deal with the Monument of Endurance. Vorinclex does not deal with Endurance. Having a 6/6 Trampler, though, that's pretty good. Notably, they also swing it. Do I care? Don't think I do. I don't know. You know what? Popping Chandra's alt actually seems really cool. X off the one target creep it. They do get another look at another creature. The land. Hey, Lurking Predators continues to like do pretty much nothing. All right. And then, yep, that's our game. Sweet. All right. Okay. Oh, I should have been paying more attention during spoiler season. This card is great. You'll love to see this. Basically take every rummage effect and turn it into a draw 2, and then start closing out the game once you have a full grip of cards. Then we just -7, get the Chandra emblem, start popping out all of our artifacts. Just go boom, 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 including the Brass Tunneler, which triggers the Endurance again. We get the redraw, and whenever you discard a card. So if you discard multiple cards, you get multiple. Oh, that works so good with the cycling too. Might be worth including an Oliphant for a mountain cycle. Maybe. What is this? Have 400 creatures power 2 or less enter the battlefield under control. Sacrifice 100 creatures over the number. Okay. The Lurking Predators is like theoretically scary. I think if you're in danger of having the opponent just like constantly shutting everything down, like it seems like it's okay against control decks, but just doesn't really do a whole lot on its own. The opponent's gonna get to go first with Kithian. That makes this really scary. Soul Spear does not shoot him fast enough. This hand has no removal. This hand has Brother's Hood End. Not good enough. They go turn 1, play a creature. turn 2 play potentially 2 more creatures. Smooth Kithian. Our turn 2 is Cold Steel Heart. Turn 3, they swing with everything, transform Kithian with the deal with Battle Forged for the rest of the game. Don't think it's good enough. But I also don't think we really have much of a chance to get. Oh, Scorching Shot actually makes this much better for us. It also makes it a lot more awkward. All right. Legion Extrude. 2 damage to any target. We could potentially Scorching Shot and a turn. This is. Oh, no, that's a sorcery. That's a sorcery. Then. Extruder now. They potentially Mana Tithe this. No Mana Tithe. They have. Lawrence Protection? No, they don't. Are they holding up what? Lelia? Resolute Reinforcements. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, that works, I guess. We can at least like keep them off Kithian for another turn with Scorching Shot. Or we can just Brother's Hoden now. And then next turn we have Cold Steel Heart, Scene of the Crime. Search your library for an artifact, put in your hand, shuffle, discard a card at random. If it's an artifact, 2 damage to each opponent. Like, this is a 2 that's just not gonna get better. And then Leader Extruder, this is sack another artifact, make a 3/3 golem. If it was the second spell you cast this turn. And then this is what? Sack this creature, gain 2 life? I'm gonna hold the Flame Blessed Bolt in case they decide they want to recast Kithian. I'm not particularly worried about a pair of 2/2s just yet. Especially when the Extruder does factually cash in whatever during your turn spells your opponent's. That's a good target for the bolts. We have 5 mana to work with. Chandra costs 4. Rifle Banditry wipes everything off the map. Rifle Banditry wipe the board. Okay. The opponent was not prepared for mass removal. Flashing in Werefox Bodyguard to try and get additional pressure on. I can kind of see it, but you also have to assume that the opponent is on some sort of creatureless control build. I think the fact that the Legion Extruder is right here means that you do just kind of hold this up. But they were playing it specifically to enable their Cold Spell Cleric. And it also looks like they were wanting to play this as Mono White Weenie. Kind of just not really set up in a position for us. This is in fact the type of deck that Mono Red Control loves to play against. Another booster back gives me another. Oh, Rare Wheels already filled out. Another round. Exile any number of creatures you control, then return them to the battlefield under the owner's control. Repeat the process X or more times. Ah, okay. That's back for more. 5 color rooms. This will be interesting. So to start with, Marina Vendrill's a 3/5. Flame Blast Bolt doesn't get there, but there's some support enchantment creatures we could hit. Faint Flames. Scorching Shot's what we need. Unfortunately, this doesn't really have the acceleration we need to help us get to Chandra. Bankbuster, Slag Storm, Storm's Wrath. How do I feel about these? Okay. This works out okay if they try and do like any of the Glimmer stuff. Bankbuster can help draw us into a few things. We can lead off on Scene of the Crime. So that way we can always play on curve. Just Bobble. Alright, so they're just playing that for the redraw. They might have some delirium effects going on too. Alright. Starting off with Scene of the Crime. You can always pay 2 to cash this in. We can also plus 2 Chandra. Bolt. We do have to worry about some of the sagas and the enchantments that way. Marina's going to try and get some obscene value. Our wraths aren't going to mean too much. Funeral Home. So this drains whenever a creature dies, and normally that'd be really bad for us. Bird of Paradise. Okay, that is Bird. Ghostly Prison. Well. I can bolt the bird. I can't do any attacking, though. This is non-creature spells, which will have improvise right. Okay, so this costs for 1. And then I would still need 2 more. So let's go ahead and cast. Here's Chandra. Chandra can help us start digging. Then bolt the bird. It's just always correct to bolt the bird. We do lose a life off that. That's whatever. I need to start rummaging through this stuff. I think we drop Slag Storm. It might be Slag Storm. Submit 0. Arcane Signet can help us cast some stuff. Mirari's Wake. That's really goddamn bad. Spiteful Banditry. That helps us give him Marina. Let's go ahead and... Alright. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I could go in with the Bankbuster Reckoner, but I think what I need to do... Anger the Gods? I think we're cooked. This is 3 damage to any target. I'm gonna hold on to the Arcane Signet. They get double mana. They get to play their commander and then play at least 1 or 2 rooms. Yep. And she's a 4/6. Alright, so they hit Journey to Nowhere, which exiles target creature, Destiny Spinner, Moldering Gem, Last Works, Bottomless Pool. None of those have like an immediate effect that we need to. I'm absolutely going to cast Spiteful Banditry first, so that way we can get a treasure. I'm also going to ult Chandra. Alt Chandra, place Spiteful Banditry into Anger of the Gods. I mean, we don't get the treasure off of that. 1, 5. Oh, so let's see. 3, 4, 5. 6. Spiteful of the Gods does work. Yeah. What are we thinking? I don't know how we're going to beat double because I forgot to put in Chaos Warp. Alright, so we has Emblem. Okay. So then... Notably, this just lets Marina, like, potentially get more value. I don't know what to tell you. Hallowed Haunting. As long as you have 7 more enchantments, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you get a spirit whose power and toughness is equal to the number of enchantments you have. Means that the Storm's Wrath is looking pretty good right now. Okay. Yep, that's 4. Got 1 more mana. Okay. So Anger of the Gods currently does not hit Destiny Spinner. Let's think about what we want to do with this knowledge. The Abrade is not going to do anything because everything they have is just like untargetable. So let's go ahead. Plus. Alright, discard the Abrade. Blood Moon? Hey, that's a Blood Moon. I am all about that. Yeah, go ahead. Tap for Improvise. Yep. We get treasures. Yes, we do lose 3 life. We get to hit them back. And then we get to... Hold on. Still have... Go ahead and hit him again. This lets us... Yeah. Or you can use a Reckoner. Sweet. Alright. Now all their lands are red. Have fun. Have fun with all of your red. You get Locker Room, you get Glassworks, and Shattered Yard. You have your end step. This room deals 1 damage to each opponent. You can't play your Journey to Nowhere. You can't play your Marine of Vandrel. Meanwhile, we get to play Chandra Spark Hunter. They do get additional spirits for casting their red enchantment. They can also play their blue enchantment and get a creature that way. Turn all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's double black though, so they can't do that. Yep. Alright, so they get the Cleric. Cleric's a 2/2. Oh, number of spirits you control. Hey, that works. Alright, yep, we do take the 2 from that. That's fine. I don't care. Yes, Improvise. Alright, goodbye. Autopay. Improvise. And you know what? I'm going to discard a card so that way we can draw 2 off of Vial of Galadriel. Go combat. Here's a creature. Queen Anne. We can go ahead and pay the 2 for it, in fact. Do they have instant speed removal for this? They do. It was a dismember. Okay, not the worst thing. We still have Dented the Bugbear for if they find a way to deal with Blood Moon. They have to actually be able to cast their enchantments. Unlocking does nothing. Okay, that does bring back Destiny Spinner and Bird of Paradise. They don't have the green to use Destiny Spinner, but Bird of Paradise is actually really bad. Fortunately, we have that's what Surge Hacker Mech is for. Yeah, so we can't hit the Bird of Paradise. Can't hit the Bird of Paradise. All right, go ahead. +2. Discard this land. Get a free draw too. Hey! Brothers Hood's End. Tap this vehicle, deals combat damage to a player. Create a treasure for each artifact they control. Hold on. This is gonna be a 5/5 menace. This is a 5/5 trample. Yeah, let's go combat. Animate. And then oh, might as well, right? Well, no, hold on. Cast this off. Wait, this is an artifact. Yeah, Chandra takes 5 damage. That's fine. That's whatever. Then all right, there are 5. They can, if they get green, they can use Destiny Spinner to animate. But that's if they get green. Chandra Emblem is winning us the game here, but Blood Moon gets all the credit. Okay, the locker room does get him a redraw. Restricted Office destroys all creatures' power 3 or greater. Trample versus Crew. You don't have. This is instant speed. So, like, if you have the green, it works. So that requires you to have the green. Do you have the green? It's the green, it's the green, it's the green you need. And when I look into your future, it's the green that I see. On you little man, I don't want to waste much time. You've been pushed around all your life. You've been pushed around by your mother and your sister and your brother. And if you was married, you'd be pushed around by your wife. But in your future, the you I see is exactly the game I've always wanted to see. Okay, that's great. That's a very strong showing from Inspiring Statuary. It helped out so much with being able to spell cards out and then also pay for the ghostly prison. So very good showing there. Just bad luck for the opponent. We dug exactly enough to get to the Blood Moon. We didn't even have to dig that deep. We just found it. Whew. And those rafts ended up being. I completely forgot about the hexproof. Forgot about the hexproof. That actually makes the rafts so much better. I'm glad I didn't just like destroy all of them. Ooh, going ultimate. What we get there? We got remove 6 or more loyalty counters from planeswalkers you control this turn. We just get. It's just an achievement. We don't get anything fancy for that. Okay. I'm enjoying this. I like this. There could probably be a little bit more tweaking though. Gonna recruit the Bolt Bringer goblins. We're gonna want to make sure we mulligan down to a good wrath. The opponent's going first. We have Slag Storm. I don't think that one wrath by itself is good enough. no removal whatsoever is absolutely not good enough. This should be fine. A frostbite, spiteful banditry, burn down the house. Yep. Okay. So this is what we call an epic game remover. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take the one. That's fine. We don't care about that. I'm not gonna take the time to play the Vexing Bauble because it just takes the treasure. Ooh, hasty goblin. Don't care about taking the 2 here. Monument to Endurance. I care a little bit about that. But I think what I'm going to do instead is Spiteful Banditry for 1. Because the treasure is going to cantrip on itself. And that's going to be really important if we just do not see another land. Because then next turn, if they go ahead, they play any more creatures, which they're going to. They're a creature-based deck. We can go ahead. Let's see. Untap. Don't draw another land. Play Sweltering Suns. Kill everything. Get the treasure back. I'm desperately hoping for an opportunity to play the Endurance because we're just going to run out of things to do. Might even get to a point where we go on their turn, shock something, get the treasure back on that turn. Then take the plunge, use 3 mana, play the Endurance. And then hope with Chandra as my witness, Azaret as our witness, Azaret's the god. Hope with Azaret as our witness that we're able to pull things out. Omnath, Locus of the Royal. Okay, so Omnath is a little bit of a problem because it can shoot any target equal to the elementals that they have. Brass Tunnel Grinder, Inspiring Statutory, Boommobile, Chandra. We want to be able to get like Shock or something. Scorching Shot is kind of shot. Sweltering Suns works out okay. Lead up on Den of the Bugbear. Potentially go into Raceway. If I go in the race, I guess it depends on if they. Okay, so let's see. Nope. Okay, so we get the spell. Bankbuster. Now they crack the fetch. Depends on how quickly this raceway gets underway, because the Amonkhet Raceway is the tap target creature gains haste until end of turn. So it's not particularly meaningful right this second. If they play Omnath as a 3/3, you have answers to that. Notably, we are 2 snow mountains away from turning Frostbite into a bolt. And there's the Frost Mountain I would like. I could also just like play out the Hearse, but I think it's more important to get the draw off the Bankbuster instead. This also lets me hold up the Frostbite. The going land, crack the land. Interesting. Makes me wonder if they have like a Kogla or they're trying to ramp it to like a Titan. So we can go ahead and take the draw here. Slagstorm, happy to see you. Still a land away from the Frostbite. We have the option of playing out the Chandra now. I don't think it's in our best interest to do that. I think we are A-okay just passing the turn. If they're going for like a really big Rishkar's expertise, they're probably looking to play Omnath with counterspell backup. That would be my guess. Fertilid would be really good backup on that. Brother's Hood and helps out with this. Okay, so now we have decisions to make. I can play out the Slagstorm first. Have 2 mana open. We still have the Frostbite. Still hope of the Bankbuster. I want to get rid of this so that way they don't just do it in response with Omnath. I would love to be able to run Chandra out. This is also where it gets bad, because if they're still holding a fetch land and they go Omnath, play the fetch land. This does give us an out. If they're holding Counterspell Magic, well then literally nothing we can do about that. It's mana drain. Okay, they get like 1 mana back on the next turn. Yeah, so Omnath's gonna be 5. That's enough for a Scorching Shot. They still have green mana up too. Let's hope they don't have a Snakeskin Veil. Virtuous Strength, get back their land. There's nothing. Okay. I got nothing else for you, so here's Chandra. Go combat. And now what I need to do is I need to start digging. Discard a card. The Honeymoon Hearse is not gonna help us out. Alright, that's a Virtuous Strength. All their basics tap for 3 times the mana. I need to put Chaos Warp in here. Why don't I have Chaos Warp in here? I've just completely forgotten about Chaos. Oh, and they got Spelunking. Welp. I hope we like having the manas. Go animate the Den of the Bugbear. Bugbear? Yeah, animate Den of the Bugbear. There's Boommobile. It's Crew 3. Alright. Well, go ahead, discard the Scene of the Crime. There's Chandra, Awakened Inferno. Not perfect, but better than nothing. Alright, max speed. We can give a creature haste. Alright, there's Omnath. Yep. Damage to control Chandra, I guess. At this point, we have to literally just... Oh, there's Lumra. How many do you get? Alright, the answer is a massive fuck ton. We are not winning this. In fact, I am okay with just skipping this so we can save on time. Lumra and Spelunking and the Virtuous Strength with a Omnath completely refill their hand. We can't do anything about that. Also, just like can't do anything about most enchantments to be sure. Hold on. Where's my Colossus deck? Take a page. Let's see. Virtue of Courage. This is 2 damage to any target. Whenever a source deals non-combat damage, we can without top cards to draw more. There's Hour of Devastation. Sonic Fury, Storm's Wrath. Conducive. Repercussion. Magic Missile. Exquisite Firecraft. Delicate Exploration. That's one idea, I guess. Lab Stage does grab some stuff. Is it just Chaos Warp? Roiling Vortex punishes any spell that does not have mana cast on it. I don't think we're in Roiling Vortex territory just yet. But it does look like... Nope. Don't really have a lot of answers for that. So, okay, we've put in Chaos Warp. Put in Chaos Warp. And... anything cool here that would work? Eh. Dagger's kind of okay. Like, there's Cool Dragon. Yeah, I think it's literally just Chaos Warp. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Chaos Warp just being the answer here. Throws of Chaos is actually kind of... we do have to worry about the Vexing Bauble, but we have other ways to get rid of the Vexing Bauble. Chandra also just digs us out of lands. That's actually not really necessary, strictly speaking. White Stone, Weak Stone. Do we need this? We're already doing -5, -5. We're not doing like a... it's 5 mana to power artifacts that are already kind of cheap. We're already dealing 5 damage. -5, -5 is something, but not everything. I think the deck is doing okay. Yeah. I think as far as like just general red control shells, I don't mind this. Maybe I look at some of the other vehicles that we want. I would really like to update Greasefang with some of the new vehicles, but I just have not pulled enough of them. Bolt, Anger, Romox. We don't really need to play the Chromax right away, but we can go into Anger the Gods if we need to. I probably cycle the Ironclad. Like, it's a 6/3 menace with crew 3 that does end the game really fast. Maybe I hold on to it as a weak addition for now, because we do need to make sure we go Burr. Goblin Engineer. Now you're talking my language. Let's see. What could we grab? It's 3 or less. Urbrask, maybe? I don't think it's Monument. Although we could play the Chromox, swap it out. Ruby Medallion. That's quite it either. Maybe it is Durance, actually. It could also be Inspiring Statutory. You know what? I believe in the power of the Monument. Alright, so when this creature enters, search your library for an artifact. We can go ahead, play the Chromox, choose not to imprint it, sacrifice it. Get out the Endurance. And then we also have cycling value off of Ironclad. Spark Hunter potentially comes down this turn, actually. They went double green, actually. So, you know what? This actually could be a really good Chandra turn. Alright, their shield's down. You know what? I think I go for it. I think I drop Anger of the Gods. And then just start punching their face. Did they have like an endurance? I didn't think so. Next turn, we definitely go ahead. Goblin Engineer. Bristly Bill. Oh, that's really, really bad. Oh, it's awful. Actually awful. Oh, how many attack Chandra now? Moment of endurance. Sus. Not expecting Bristly Bill to come down. But oh, that's actually enough to just take out Chandra, period. That is okay then. Well, let's do it like this. We always bolt Bristly Bill. And then we always dash with Ragavan. Go combat. Swing it with Ragavan. Get the free treasure. Activate. Sacrifice the token. Now we get Ironclad as value. Yeah, I'll go ahead and cycle the Ironclad just as 1 mana draw too. Oh, God. That was a really strong and really dangerous turn. And they have the walk-in closet. So they're just going to have bugs for days. And also, that's really bad with a Tatyava. Those bugs come in. Go ahead. Just gum up. Ragavan's not going anywhere from now on. Got 6 mana already for treasures. Opponent still only has 1 island. Windswept Heath can grab shocks. Fable Passage can grab basics. They're not grabbing islands? Unless this grabs an island. Did I miss something? Oh, Explore, right. Explore gives them the extra. Okay, we're gonna need like an actual factual board wipe for this. Yep. Unfortunately, this means we also need spot removal. We need spot removal for Tatyava, or she's just gonna run away. Alright, so Vexing Bobble, Chaos Warp. Chaos Warp doesn't help as much as I would like. Solas, thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so I can Chaos Warp the enchantment. Where does that put us? Doesn't put us at nearly good enough. I think I have to do it just to. All right, it's another land. They get another token. That's whatever. Now we've got 3 mana left. Monkey doesn't do it. I can play the Bank Buster. That would be the most efficient use of my mana. Cost 3. Hold on. No attacks. You know what? Monkey. Because at least now we theoretically trade with the Kami. And then we're not just getting beaten down for 4. And Goblin Engineer can bring back the Bank Buster. We can weld out the Vexing Bauble for it. Oh, no, it's a Shia. This game might be out of the region already. Because now Tatyava comes into play. Tatyava is also a land. Tatyava triggers off of herself. We don't have enough burn to deal with a Shia as is. Nissa comes down. Yep. And then this is only non-token creatures, right? If they attack with Kami, I think I still make the trade. I think I still make the trade because it makes any potential Wrath I draw significantly more valuable. If I were them, the idea of potentially like getting that Bank Buster off board is appealing. Chai is a 10-10. A whole lot about that. So they're just going to swing with a bunch of tokens. Tapped out. They got one. Go ahead. Crew. Take out a token. Save myself the 1 damage. Now, Chandra Awakened Inferno. You deal damage to non-elementals. You are an elemental. You're an elemental. You are elf. I can't even cast Awakened Inferno. I can't. I can try and redraw. Power Stone. I'm not really used to playing mono red and then having people actually respect the removal that I could be packing. Like, I'm not seeing people play their unless they're like just trying to be really aggressive. They're not playing the commanders. They are respecting the bolt. They understand that they do not play the commander unless they just have a bunch of other resources to back it up. That is both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because we're playing the control role and we don't want people to be bashing in. It's bad because I would love to time walk them for 1 mana. That do just kind of be how it be, though. Ooh, look, Fused Atrocity. Haven't seen you in a hot second. Okay, so this is 5 color whenever you cast an Eldrazi. You may pay 2 if you do copy all spells and other activated and triggered abilities you control. You may choose new targets for the cop. That card can run amok really, really quickly. Raceway into Foundry, File, Chandra, Ironclad. Is that fast enough? It might be. Our removal isn't going to be fast enough regardless. Alright, so we'll go Foundry first. Start putting down our mountains. Then what is this? 2 mana, make a servo? We can actually do that at the end of their turn. Yep, they do get it. Go ahead, we'll make the servo. Servo can help us get that speed going. Hey, I'm a genius. Alright, speed up. And then it's what? Sack a servo, make a Thopter? That would make the file really good here. The Power Stone probably has the highest upside. But making a Thopter with evasion seems a-okay. I feel like if we play the Power Stone, we're actually just really far ahead. And if we do play Chandra next turn. Alright, yep, that is Lantern. That is a Lantern. We also have Chandra into 3 mana file? Maybe it's a mistake not to play Spark Hunter just yet. But Chandra here goes very nicely into play file for more mana. And then we can go ahead and turn this into a Thopter, so that way we can still poke in. Ugin's Binding, return her to hand. That is fine by me. Slows us down a little bit. And that's tree. Okay. All right. How do we want to do this? We want to make sure that Raceway gets left. So then let's go Signet. Tap, tap. Play Chandra. Sweet. Go combat. Animate. Boom, boom, boom. Playing Bank Buster. Pass the turn. Now we're in a position where we can go ahead and play Surge Hack Mech and Clamorous Ironclad. Ooh, that's a 5 damage card. I can deal with it. We can deal with that, no problem. Venter's Fair. Alright. So how do we want to deal with this? They know we have Torch of Defiance, so they're not going to block. We have 1, 2, 3. That's 6 damage on its own. That's 6 damage on its own. And then also just like play the Ironclad for maximum damage. And then we can also crew with the Thopter. Then we can put the Thopter on the motorbike. Let's see, how much further do we want to go with this? Chandra is 4 damage. That's a 2. That's 5. That's not enough to actually like do anything on her own. So let's go ahead and like drop. We get 2 lands off that. Here's Vexing Bauble. Vexing Bauble. Do we have 1 mana? No, this is 2 mana. Make a servo. You love vehicle shenanigans. So do I. So do I. This is fantastic. We can like hold up mana now. Make the sacrifice the thought. Oh, right. We can do this at the end of their turn, right? Because it doesn't cost mana to sacrifice the Thopter for a 4/4 construct. Means that we can go ahead and crew, say, the Bank Buster. We can crew the Surge Hack Mech. This is a crew 3. Ooh, okay. We need to return each non-land permanent you don't control to its hand. Ugh. All right, that might have actually just like gotten it for them. Disgusting. And it's got Annihilator 1. Okay. We're gonna have to think through a few things. Power Stone is not gonna cut it. The Urbrass Forge, I would love to get that down sooner rather than later. We just need to prioritize being able to play all our shit. So like, here's Arcane Signet. Here's File. I probably just play Vexing Bauble so we have something to sacrifice and that gives us 2 mana left over. I can also play the Foundry, sacrifice the token. I think that's what I need to do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, let's go ahead. Cast the Bauble. Cast the Bank Buster, actually, so that way we just have more stuff in play. That way the Surge Hack Mech has a little more value to it. Okay, very strong. I forgot that the Ugin's Binding did that. Disgusting. They're at 13 life. They're currently not in any danger. But we've redeployed most of our rocks sans the Power Stone. Okay, so we can hack, get rid of the Null Drifter. That's going to be important. Whenever you cast a spell, if colorless wasn't spent to cast it, target opponent may put a creature from their hand onto the battlefield. And then also there's the Great Henge. Yeah, like I said, we're going to sacrifice the Bauble. It's a 6/6 with trample and devoid. We're not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna try not to. 8. Wait, 8? Hold on, what? This is put 2 counters. Ugh, disgusting. That means Chandra's not sticking around. That is really, really freaking bad. Unless. So. We always cast the Surge Hack mech because we need to get rid of the Null Drifter. Have the 8/8. That's problematic. We currently 3, 4, 5 mana to work. We can get the Urbrass Forge going. That makes us sooner rather than later. We can also cast Chandra. Chandra, animate the Surge Hack mech. Push damage. Save ourselves some life because then that's not 8 coming at us. Go ahead, discard. Think about discarding the Foundry, but I think we discard the Power Stone. We just do not have time for it anymore. Yep, and then, yeah, animate the Menace. Go combat. Just try and, like, keep them on a clock. And then treat Chandra as a burn 5, gain 8. Potentially gain 10. Oh, it's Kozilek. That means they have actual, like, counterspell ability now. Yep. Alright. So this is effectively lethal next turn. They're at 12. Is there a world where I can get up to crew 4? This is what? 6 damage, potentially? I would have to find a way to deal them 6 more. That's assuming that they don't just have a 4-drop to counter with. We can block the Kozilek. We have 2 tokens worth of creatures. I can also cast the Chandra. I think I have to cast the Chandra regardless. I don't think I win if I don't. I hate that there's a response here because it means that they potentially have a 4-drop to counter Chandra with. Okay, they don't. Okay. We have the 4 mana to go into the Ironclad, smack them for 6, that's half their health. I don't have anything on the backswing though, and then I just get killed. Like this is 21 right here, 23 exactly. I need to leave up exactly what? One servo? One servo might make the difference? One servo can make the difference. I think if that's going to be the case, then I can't afford to do anything but cycle this. So let's go ahead, discard the Bugbear. Brittle Blast. Does that change anything? Fortunately, I don't think it does. Okay, so effectively 9. Hold on to the Ironclad, I guess? Does it still make 2 mana make a dude? I only have 4. That's the turn. Like, we need, like, so much to go right in order for this to work out for us. Like, there's a chance. Strictly speaking, there is a chance. It's not a good chance. In fact, it's very, very, very tiny. That's more or less gonna do it, I guess. Exile target artifact. Okay, so it does exile the Menace card. They draw a card. That's a blocker. First strike, vigilance, menace, trample, and lifelink. They should really just swing at me. They should really just be swinging at me. They're gonna swing at Chandra. So that means making the token doesn't matter. At least in terms of like blocking. Chandra dies. I can Brittle Blast the Battlescape Mage. They still have a blocker. The blocker is pay 7 life. I can theoretically do that. I can also draw out the Bank Buster. I think that's a mistake. I think you swing at me and put me down to 1. But we'll see. Sorry, the 7 deaths definitely makes that significantly harder. Chaos War. Okay. Now this is interesting. This has Menace. So what do we do? I think the first thing that we're doing... Yep, we're going to pay the 7. We are attempting... They can still counter with Coslick if they have a 3-drop. Like, that's the part of this that we just have no control over. And if they have it, well... We can try Brittle Blasting the Battlescape Mage. We don't have enough mana to do everything that we want to do here. Discard a Snooping Voidcraw. Is there any other way for us to get through? It's 8 mana already just to play Chandra. 5, 6, 7, 8 exactly. With a first strike, vigilance, trample. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and call that GG. Ah, that Ugin's Binding just fucking stole the game. Ugh. Good game, but rough. Thalia and the Gitrog monster. This is going to be paying. The Thalia and the Gitrog monster are going to keep everything tapped in terms of creatures. Our vehicles can get around that. Our basics are going to be in pain. It might actually end up working out. Faint Flame goes first. You go first? Snow. Faint Flame. Chromox really bad with all of these, but Inspiring Stature Ray helps. Warm Power Stone helps. Let's go. I guess you could go ahead and play the non-basics first to try and play around Thalia and the Gitrog. You got Feigned Flame specifically to try and deal with them. I would love to draw a red card. Exile. Add 1 mana of any of the exiled cards' colors. Colorless is not a color. Very important to remember, colorless is not a color. So maybe Feigned Flames is actually not fantastic for this. 3 mana. They can't play Thalia next turn. But we can go ahead and play Vexing Bauble so that way we don't have to deal with a Solitude or Grief. Also gives us something to potentially cash in later. We can end of turn crack the Vexing Bauble, try and get a redraw. That lets us play the Chromox a little bit faster. Yep, that's Arcane Signet. You know what? Nah, it's probably worth it to just crack the Bauble. Alright, that's Landwar Elf. Yep. They're going to be able to play the Thalia kind of regardless next turn. Deathrite Shaman. That is also... A Wrath would actually be pretty fantastic right about now. Back it. Kind of a number with the Chrome Mox anyway. Goblin Engineer. How do I feel about you? Let's see. Playing the Goblin Engineer. Go ahead and grab us the endurance. Helps us pull ahead really, really fast. The other option is to just go Chrome Mox and print the Goblin Engineer. Get Chandra going. Start smashing in with her bike. That might be the world we live in. The Goblin Engineer getting endurance just means we win the long game. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. Because Thalia and the Git Raw Monster is a deck that you do not want to go long game with. And if we can go ahead and start plushing Chandra, start cashing in some of these other cards to find more removal, I think I like that better. Sucks that we had to give up our engineer for it, but that does kind of speak to why Feigned Flames might end up getting cut for something else now. Could probably even sacrifice, what, the Power Stone? I guess theoretically we could go ahead, use the Chrome Mox, and then sacrifice the Chrome Mox to Chandra's ability. Yep, there's Thalia, and Git Rog Monster. Curse of Silence. Curse of Silence on Chandra? On Fury? What do you name if you've already played Chandra? Probably just Chandra herself. Yeah, it's just gonna be Chandra Spark Hunter. Okay. You know what? Respectable. But Chandra's just gonna keep trading with those. Burn down the house. This hits Planeswalkers 2. I don't really care for that. Hit Thalia. Go combat, animate bike, swing bike. Yep, block there. Happy to see that. Now we have a decision to make. We can use the Inspiring Statuary as a pseudo rock. That also helps us play Chandra. Lets our bike recast Chandra. I think I've already talked myself into that. Discard a card. Discard the Power Stone. Fiery Annihilation. I'm all about. Now they have to spend their Landware Elf to replay Thalia. Which means Deathrite Shaman gets Chandra down to 3. Fire Annihilation gets rid of Thalia. We can potentially take Chandra up high enough that Burn Down the House actually does something else. We can also just like play this. Make the Devils so that way she has blockers. And then the Devils ping away at the Mana Dorks. Like, that is an option. And if they have removal for Chandra, with the Inspiring Statuary out, the bike helps pay for Chandra. Alright, so they are going to go ahead and play Thalia, but they're doing that specifically so they can swing with Landware Elves and Shaman. Alternatively, maybe they have something up to a 3-drop that they want to play. Shaman can get exiled any of their fetches to make mana. Yeah, that's what they're doing. So it has to be a 3-drop, so it could be like a Cultivate? Overlord of the Haunt. Okay. Well, that is a real card, alright. And it's a 6/5. First things first, though. Get rid of that. Then we get to go to combat. Yeah. Go combat. Animate bike. Swing with bike. And then what? Currently, Thalia costs what? 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have to top deck a land to make that work. I would love to. Got a plus. I'm not sacrificing an art. This is testy. Like, if they spend their whole turn to replay Sally and the Get Drunk Monster, and then all I do is burn down the house, I bolt whatever creature they try and send at Chandra, then at that point, the only thing I really have to worry about is trying to dig for something that can deal with Overlord. Yep. And then we can still just make blockers for the Overlord. I can also just like plus Chandra, take it, and then burn down the house. I think I like that better. Yep. All right. Oath of Chandra. Okay. This does deal extra damage. I think we just drop it though. Flame Blessed Bolt. That's not bad. Yeah. You know what? No, hold on. 5 damage. We're gonna pay for that without using the bike. Well, we don't have to worry about Thalia for a hot second. Okay, so assemble the team. Respectable card. I may need to consider just like making more bikes. That way, Chandra can pay for attacks. Chandra's gonna cost 6, 4, 5, 6. We already have that covered. Okay. Bolt their face. Bolt their face. We can also just like hold Lightning Bolt and Flame Blast to deal with Overlord. If they get within 3, we can just bolt them in the face. There's no reason for us to go ahead and bolt them now unless we top deck into something. Subletine lets them search for the top third of their library. It may, in fact, just be the incorrect third. They just need something to stabilize. Thalia is currently costing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're going to be 3 short. Unless the Overlord specifically starts attacking, and if we hold both Bolt and Bolt, then the Overlord doesn't get to attack. Alright, so they pick their card. What do they grab? Sheoldred. That's a non-token. That's a card that we do have to get rid of. Alright. So they found what they needed to deal with Chandra. The sad part is that the Overlord does get to attack next turn. But Sheoldred is a big enough problem that I think we just need to deal with her now. Yeah, that means that we don't get to play Chandra this turn. But Overlord doesn't come out till next turn either. That's Massacre Girl. Alright, this is an actual factual problem now. Because if we play Chandra and swing, she doesn't get to do anything. We can play her. Oh god, this is bad. What does the Inventors Fair get us? I think I'm playing that. Inventors Fair grabs us. What? I can play Chandra. I can make another bike. That'll pay for her cost. I gain some life that way. I think I just passed the turn. I think I passed the turn. Use Inventors Fair on my turn. Well, that's Puck. They are very, very, very quickly taking over the game. Okay, well, at least Puck isn't doubling non-token lands, so there's that. We can cast the One Ring. The One Ring would be pretty good at dealing with this. Sky Sovereign Ship? Sky Sovereign Ship is also really good at stabilizing. The One Ring draws us out eventually. Sky Sovereign. Monument helps. Let's see. We can play Monument. We can discard a card. That's currently 10, 11. That's 21. Oh, that's 17. 17, potentially 19. You know what? I'm going to believe in the Monument. Anger the Gods does not help out. Like, I can't cast the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've ruined it. Never mind. GG's. I guess it would have had to have been the One Ring. I thought with the improvise would be enough, but no, it's actually the curse that kept us off of Chandra. Which, like, hey, if you're going to take a, if you're confident that you can remove Chandra at some point, that's fine. Also, I have not been sipping any of my tea. Now my tea is ice cold. This is awful. Who likes ice cold tea? All right, so Smuggler Copter, Pyroclasm, Abrade. Can we get there on 2 lands? I don't think we can. On the play, Brass's Tunnel Grinder is here. This is good removal, though. But a green deck like that, it's going to take... We've established that I think that this hand could be a lot better. But I am tempted by the fact that we have a Pyroclasm and a Braid. And we are on the play. Which, you know, for those at keeping score at home, means that we have some nice removal options. Might have been worth holding on to the Abrade specifically to deal with Omnath as opposed to just using it on the Lighted Halfling. Utopia Sprawl, but we do get Brass's Tunnel Grinder this turn. I'm going to discard... This is if we descend, right? Smuggler Copter, good. Pyroclasm is not going to be enough soon. Okay. We did draw some more land. That's great. Storm Wrath is going to help out with this. Unless they decide to, you know, fetch land us. No, they do not. So we actually get to do something even better. I like Fable the Mirror Breaker here. So Sokazin. All right, this is going to be an awkward spot. Ideally, you want to descend each turn with the Brass Tunnel Grinder. Oh, that's Tatyava. We have 5 mana with the token that lets us play the Fury. So I'll drop the Scene of the Crime. Alright, this lets me get the token in. Tatyava senses a trap. That's great for me. Go ahead. Hard play the Fury. Unless they have a subtlety, they have no subtlety. Alright, so now the Brass Tunnel gets to tick up. It's what? And if there's 3 or more, so it's going to take at least 2 more turns. Meanwhile, Fable the Mirror Breaker is going to flip over with Fury backup. Alright, that's Omnath. And they do have 2 mana. Make him big. Fortunately, we have this Soul Seer to deal with that. So that's going to be our priority. We want to give him a chance to trade with Fury. I think I'd rather just keep the Goblin out, TBH. Let me just go ahead, bash in, play the Copter. And then pass the turn. This is not sorcery speed. So we can go ahead and do that in response to any sort of trigger. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sounds good to me. There's the one ring. Smuggler Copter already works. I want to drop the hearse. Okay, we're dropping the hearse. I want to hold up at least one. I get to hold up a mana if I attack with the Goblin. Go combat. Cyclonic Rift. Okay then. Well, that's definitely happening. I might have known. Alright, we have to discard a card, so go ahead and drop this hearse that we don't need then. If we need to pitch something... What do we pitch? I might have to drop the one ring. I don't think we have time for it. But if I can go Chandra into Smuggler's Copter, start trying to loot and grab that way, like that's actually significantly faster. I can't. They're completely helping, by the way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 3. That is 3 mana I need to somehow come into account for. And Play with Fire is not going to get the job done. How do we want to do this? Because they get 2 land drops. That's going to make this a 5/5. I think I'm in the business of just pushing damage. I think they need to spend... Yep. There's Omnath. Omnath hits for 1. Yep. All the... That's 4 triggers. That's 6 damage I can do here. That Crucible's single-handedly refilling their entire hand. Maybe I would have been correct. Oh, nope. We're close. We are so damn close. We can get him down to 6. This is happening. Unfortunately, I just had no way to prevent this. We came close. We came damn close. Alright. Yep. So now they get one more land drop. Omnath is a big old 12/12. I can play the Copter, loot. That gets him down to 6. If I were somehow able to like burn him for 4, that would do it. Oh, what did you miss? You missed Omnath getting to play out with a Crucible of the Worlds and having 1, 2, 3, 4 land drops. Fury isn't gonna quite do it. Storm's Wrath does nothing about Omnath itself. Like, we were doing good, but they had the Cyclonic Rift to completely set us back. And that's kind of been, like, the message of the day. I'm not really sure there's a way that we can ever, like, fight that. So, let's go ahead, discard a card, see what we can potentially redraw. I mean, that's a land. I can play the Smuggler's Copter. I can also use it to crew the Fury. I'm gonna go full control. I'm gonna go ahead and invoke this Fury. Pitch the Storm's Wrath because we just know that we're not using that. Resolve. Alright, hit the Bird of Paradise. Hit a Zuza. 2 on each. And then activate the crew. Crew it with the Fury. Alright. So that doesn't do what I want it to do, though, is the sad thing. Like, we still have to go with the Copter. We still have to swing in with the Copter. We still get the draw. And we'll call it game there. Like, they're at 9, but they still have multiple land drops. You know what? Despite the fact that we got rifted, I'll say I think we got time for one more? Yeah, let's go ahead for one more. We'll go for one more, and then we'll probably raid into, like, Meowtic. Meowtic. Good old standard streamer Meowtic. Another Omnath deck. Please. Please, I beg of you. Enough. The children have had enough. Not deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mounts you control. Currently, that's 2. The Legion Extruder shoots, but we're on the draw. We really need mana stuff. I would love it if we had, like, some sort of redirect effect. Something to, like, point the Cyclonic Rift the other way. There's not a whole lot you can do about Mass Bounce, though. Unless... I am going to go ahead and mull this. Winter Moon doesn't really help out, especially against big ramp decks like that. Just said it doesn't. I guess we go up to 3 with this. We still have Chaos War, Flame Breast for that. Drop the Winter Moon. Like, they're just gonna ramp out so many basics that's not gonna matter. Yes, the Chaos War speeds things up. Archer Engines. I want to play the Chromax before the Vexing Bauble. There's also nothing meaningful we can do about this turn. There's my alarm. Yeah. Not like in our odds right now. How many Omnath decks do we end up playing against today? Soul Seer helps out so much. That's not bad at all. We'll go ahead and attempt the Chromax. If they counter it, they counter it. They could have, like, a Naturalize or something like that. Drop the Chaos Warp, I guess. And then, theoretically, Vexing Bauble? I always play the Vexing Bauble and cash in. They're not going to be able to Omnath. Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and play that Bauble. Then we're going to save the Soul Spear specifically for Omnath. Flame Blast Bolt is just for the dorks. Keep going for my water. And what I want is to go for my tea. All right, Mr. They played the fetch land though. I could have played the raceway and gotten some extra speed on that. I guess the Amonkhet raceway doesn't do a whole lot. There are like corner case scenarios like last game where it might have helped out. We could have played like a we could have given the Thopter haste, the looter scooter, the smuggler's copter. Give that haste, play another vehicle that has like some sort of evasion. That way Chandra can actually like haste that instead. Yeah, let's go ahead. Crack it now. Prismatic Vista still does life though. Herbrest Forge. I can get the Forge going now. But the Soul Spear is also a problem. So, like, here's the idea. We hold up the Soul Spear, can deal with Omnath. Omnath goes up to 4. But there's also just, like, not a lot doing, I guess. Alright. Well, now there's, like, no tangible reason for them not to crack the fetch. If the worst they do is play Omnath, play a tap land, pass, we can still Soul Seer. Yep, there's Omnath. Omnath deals the damage to Chandra. Thank you, Chandra. Oh, that's bad. That is really, really bad. That is a worst case scenario bad because the Spelunky does make it come to play untapped. Yep, now it's a 5/5. I'm gonna try. It did work. So, scene of the crime, because we desperately need it. Honeymoon Hearse probably gets us through, but I don't know what to tell you. We just need to go. The opponent can replay Omnath this turn, but then he's just a 3/3 that pings for 1. I guess ping Chandra is not irrelevant. Getting that emblem is actually a really powerful equalizer. So maybe I need to look at some... Oh! Well, if it isn't our good friend Primetime, I think that means that this game's officially over. Because we're not running like a Burning Hands or anything like that, even though we probably should be. Koth. You deal 3 damage. You're a 6. At this point, the Herbrest Forge isn't as much as I would like it to do. I could plus sack the bike. Let's go ahead and plus sack the bike. Alright, that's mountain, I guess. That's mountain, I guess. Bare minimum, Omnath is getting, what, 3, potentially 4 counters, going up to a 6/6. They wouldn't block a little token, right? Well, now we can give creatures haste. So there's that. That's a thing that we can do. Yeah. Yeah, it's the end of stream. We're gonna go ahead and call it there. Okay, we still run into the issue that mono red control decks run into, where anytime we get matched against a green deck, they threaten to just go way, way bigger than what we can deal with. We can take a look to see what particular options we have, but I think at minimum, it's going to be something like Burning Hands. So potentially run that. In terms of like vehicle options that can help out with that, I'm not really like it's so weird. I should like the big 5/5 trample stuff. It feels like it should push a lot of damage, but we're controlling so much of the board that it just does not do the thing that I expect it to do. So the vehicles need a little bit more utility. This one at least ramps with while giving treasure. This one at least cycles and has menace on like that. The Sky Song is probably like the creme de la creme in terms of actual good biking bikes. Hold on. Visium Tank. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it becomes an artifact creature and gets +1/+1. That might be worth crafting because then the tank turns into a creature without Chandra having to animate it, and we have more damage to push. But it also means that that's really bad against the Rasp. So maybe actually not. Burner Rocket, I don't think does a whole lot. We're not playing Mech Titan Core. Mech Titan Core is a meme. If it's a land, you look at the top card. If it's a land, put into play tapped. Soul Shredder's kind of cool. This is whenever a creature you control dies, it gets a counter. Magmatic Galleon, it's 5 damage, but that's kind of all it is. And it's at 5 mana, so like 5 damage to a single creature is really bad value. We could do Heart of Kirin. Heart of Kirin is a card that I probably should consider crafting. Caravan at least is a rock. Energy. I don't think there's honestly that many utility vehicles in just mono red. Like you can go ahead and try playing some of the cantrip, like the Bomat Bazaar Barge, for example. I don't think that works. Conqueror's Galleon, though. 4 mana is a 2/10. You can attack with it, and then it turns into a land that rummages, draws, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's actually really good. That's some good, real strong utility I think we could use. All right, Argosy. Nope. We're not looking for that. We're not looking for that. That does draw a card, but that's not really good. 3/3 first strike trample haste. It's not good enough. Whenever Red Light deals combat damage, look at the top 5 cards, reveal a historic card, put them into your hand, the rest of the bottom. That also seems really good. So it looks like I am probably saying goodbye to some of my mythic wild cards here. But I think considering that we were missing some good options, that helps out. That kind of helps out a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and make a note here. Let's see. So it's like what? It's Heart of Kirin, which means we get a couple more vehicles to get pressure on. I think if we're just outracing them, it works out. Okay, so it's just those 2? Okay, maybe that's not as bad as I thought. I'm going to make a couple of tweaks. You know what? Goodbye, half my wild cards. And then I'll figure out what else to cut off stream. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and right into Meowdic. If you were joining us over on the YouTubes, thank you very much. This is the end of the stream over there. Y'all have a good night and be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can go ahead and see more Brawl content. We do this every week on Tuesday night. I'll see you same hero time, same hero channel. Bye-bye. All right, and then over on the Twitch side, Meowdic is no, she's not. Okay.